I need to clarify something that I have said multiple times in multiple videos. And my opinion hasn't changed a lot, but the circumstances surrounding my claims has changed greatly. And so I need to clarify. If that could be any more confusing, I would definitely try to make it more confusing. This is an article from Wizards of the Coast, published days ago, about the Hatsume Miku Secret Lair Commander Deck. I have talked about this product a number of times, jokingly but not jokingly, saying it's going to be a scalper's paradise because this thing is going to sell out really quickly, just like the Goblin Storm deck. And Wizards of the Coast watched my video and they don't like me. And so in response, they came out with this article, and this changes things because let me introduce you to Matthew Hodgins, who has been an employee at Wizards of the Coast for 15 years, but we don't know who he is. And this individual got the pleasure of writing this snippet or this article about this secret lair where he says this, and I'll read from the article. Secret Lair has a tradition of experimentation, so we're trying something new, kind of new here that harkens back to the early days of Secret Lair to meet demand where we think it will be the highest on fully playable products. This sale is an experiment, and yes, a direct response to Goblin Storm, with introducing a 24-hour limited order window on products meant to be playable out of the box. So this could include things like commander decks, specialty products like Secret Lair Dan deck, or anything else we think of down the line that may have a unique combination of high demand and out-of-the-box playability. If it goes well, we may create a new storefront, kind of like Chaos Vault, for these types of sales. If we see issues, we may go back to the drawing board. We'll see how it goes and check in soon. Very interesting. There's a couple things here that I'm excited to talk about. So first things first is experiments. I love experiments. I wonder what they're looking for. What is success? Are they trying to see if they sell a bunch? Are they trying to see if this is a good experience for consumers? I don't know. I'm not sure. If I had to guess what they're kind of poking at here, I imagine that they're trying to get a good customer experience. If they, and because they're saying this is in direct response to Goblin Storm, they were not happy with the results of Goblin Storm. And now that I say that out loud, the gears are turning in my head, and I think that they're not happy with how much money they're leaving on the table. I think this is the clearest, most obvious kind of result, which is that they saw how Goblin Storm sold out instantly and then was resold on eBay for double, triple its price. They left money on the table, which, as I talked about when Goblin Storm came out, is part of the plan. When you sell products that you know are going to be in demand for a price that's below what the market price would be, and it's hard to know what the market price would be, but I think we all knew that the Goblin Storm deck was selling well below what the market price would be. We all know that this, before realizing this was print to demand, we all knew that this Hatsume Miku Commander deck was selling well below its market price. This deck is worth more than $150, yet they sell it for $150. They could sell it for more, but they sell it for less. And why? So that you'll sell out, so that you'll drive hype, so there'll be something interesting, exciting that people talk about. It adds value to your brand, and as you continue to do this in the future, you can sell more and more and drive up demand. So they've decided, though, that the downsides of selling out and having this kind of negative customer experience outweighs the upside of driving hype and theoretically selling more and more. And they've decided that this alternate path, they might be able to sell the most, maybe, or at least make the most amount of money in having an open order 24-hour pre-order window. This is really interesting to me because the implication of this is that it's print to demand. This product is no longer scarce because anybody can buy it and get it in the near future. I mean, do they say when it comes out? I'm skimming through the article. I'm not sure, but they say that I think the implication is that there's going to be some on hand and then some that won't be available. They'll have to print them to demand sometime in the next year. And so it might take a long time to get some of these products for some people, but some people get them quickly. And so anyways, the implication is that it's print to demand. For 24 hours, infinite people can order a copy if they want. And so therefore there's going to be infinite copies because people love this. It's going to be a great product, blah, blah, blah. My experience with Magic the Gathering products differs from that story that I just told. I don't think there's going to be infinite of these printed. I don't think that people are going to jump on this opportunity. Ironically, I mean, this isn't true, but I think there's going to be less demand for this product now than there would have been if it wasn't print to demand. And listen to me. I do think more are going to be created because of this print to demand, because the demand is so high. But there's a lot of people out there that were going to try to be in line that probably aren't because it's print to demand. And those are the evil, dirty scalpers because it's just less scalpable, right? If it's print to demand, then it's not going to be an easy money-making machine. And that kind of makes sense, except like I mentioned, I've had experience that contradicts this. There was a festival in a box product that came out about a year ago. And my friends and I were all into it because the value is there. It had a good secret lair attached to it. It had good promo cards. It came with Mystery Booster 2. I got all my friends excited, and we were going to buy in. One of the group of the friends, I won't say who, was an evil, dirty scalper who turned around and flipped their boxes. But the other members of the friends were good, honest people that like kept the cards and opened the boxes and that kind of thing. So a well-rounded group. Now, they bought them day one. In fact, they like signed up, or they're like right at their computer, right when it hit noon. They're in line, got them really quickly, felt good about their purchases, but it didn't sell out in the first hour. And it didn't sell out in the second hour. And it actually didn't sell out in the first day. And it didn't sell out in the second day. And it was weeks, multiple weeks before this product sold out. And so obviously the one friend inside of that group who was an evil, dirty scalper was like sweating, like, oh no, what have I done? I bought something that's not scarce. It did not sell out day one. People weren't just in a hurry to quickly buy these things. The recent Festival in a Box for Amsterdam, that one sold out instantly. But this one from a year ago, it did not sell out instantly. But it did sell out in a couple weeks. And on a random day on the Secret Lair website, it was sold out. And on that day, on eBay, there were confirmed sales at double the price. It was the most bizarre thing. It was like the second that it wasn't available for $150 on the Secret Lair website, or maybe it was $200, whatever the Festival in a Box price was. The second it wasn't available on the Secret Lair website, demand poured into eBay. People were freaking out that they needed to get a hold of this product. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. But what I learned from that, and I believe that there's other experiences with Magic products and sealed products that kind of, show this reality, which is that the second something feels scarce, people want it. But while it doesn't feel scarce, people don't care. I mean, we see this all the time. When Modern Horizons 3 play boosters earlier this year, became rare at distribution level, they suddenly spiking up in price. Everyone was talking about it. Get your Modern Horizons 3 because who knows if they're going to be available. They're selling out, yada, yada, yada. We're experiencing that now with other play booster boxes that, become scarce, and then suddenly everybody needs it. Everybody wants it. When Lord of the Rings Commander decks first reprinted earlier this year, a lot of you watching did jump on that opportunity, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people are like, oh, okay, whatever, who cares? And then now they're expensive, and suddenly demand is as strong as ever. Of course, the Hobbit's coming out. I don't know. There's a lot going on. These are complicated things. But my point is, what I believe is going to happen with this Hatsune Miku product, I believe a lot of people are going to order it on Monday. I believe it'll sell well. But 24 hours is quite a tight window. That's the kind of window that somebody forgets about. Obviously not the super fans, but if you don't believe that there's going to be tons of these sold on eBay at extraordinary high prices, I think you're wrong. I think that these are going to be very scalpable. Um, which, maybe, I'm telling everybody. But the thing is that, especially the people who get these quickly, after 24 hours, there's going to be a lot of people that suddenly want this product. And even though they could have gotten it for 150 bucks, the day after it was available, people are going to want to buy it for 300. That's my opinion. That's what I think is going to happen. We'll see. We'll see if that plays out. I've got a lot of predictions that we're going to see if they play out in the near future. I've done pretty well this year so far with predicting Strixhaven prices, collector booster box prices, and predicting TMNT collector booster box prices. But not as good at Marvel Superheroes collector booster box prices. But now I'm predicting The Hobbit, and we'll see how that goes. And then this Hatsume Miku product, I am predicting that it is going to be easily scalpable, as in you buy it today, you'll be able to flip it tomorrow for a profit if you have it in hand. The tricky thing is that if the print to demand isn't arriving for a year, usually what secret layer scalper, flipper, evil people do is they'll buy it and then immediately post their like a picture of their receipt on eBay and say, hey, buy this from me, I'll ship it to you in a month. Well, guess what? You're not going to have it in a month. You might not have it for a year. So the evil scalpers won't be able to immediately flip it on eBay unless they are getting one quickly. So it'll be interesting. But and then a year from now, once a bunch are hitting the market at the same time, that will drive prices down. But I think in general, this product, yes, it's going to be open order, print to demand for 24 hours. But after that 24 hours, I think the price is going to land well above the 150 bucks. So that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. It's been crazy times for me personally recently. And so I really appreciate all of you viewers who enjoy my content. Let me know if you enjoy my stuff. The people who do, I try to see I read your messages and I love them. Thank you. Thanks, special thanks to my patrons. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Peace.